welcome. Good evening. So this live will be in English because we have a special guest from Bulgaria, right, Michal?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So, Michal, let's start from introduce yourself.
Okay, well, my name is Michal, I guess, in Hebrew. I'm born and raised in Bulgaria. I studied at the American University here, and then I went to the States, where I studied at Harvard. Afterwards,
you studied at Harvard. This is cool.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of okay, I guess. Nothing to brag about, but afterwards I came back to pretty much help my parents.
Sorry to stop you, but let's say that the main thing is that you're actually the developer of Smsbump, right? You're an e-commerce specialist and also a developer.
I'm actually an e-commerce specialist, that's true, but I'm definitely not a developer. So I'm more like the manager and founder / co-founder of Smsbump. But I'm not a developer. I'm not that smart to be a developer.
Okay, so the first thing, as everybody know here, is actually to share. We are welcoming everyone that is already here, and please type down hi, what's up, shalom, or anything like that, so you're here. Also, please help us and share our live to any group that you know, just so we can help other people as well. Hear about other to market is the main thing today. So Michael, while I'm sharing, and I guess that you also, let's start about speaking about marketing. So how did you get to market in SMS? This is kind of a new way to us. We mostly know or familiar with PPC in Google, in Facebook. Why SMS?
Well, that's a great question, and I'll be happy to answer. It's just after you help me with the share, because this is actually my first live, so I haven't done much of the social yet. Let me just try to share it on our page.
Know or familiar with the PPC in Google, in Facebook. Why SMS? So.
Well, that's a great question. Oh my gosh! All right. Well, so I
what you need to do, by the way, for sure, and if there is anyone here in the crowd that don't know how to share, it's okay. Please get into our Facebook group, חנויות שופיפיי חוות דעת מקצועית. You have the link. It's okay. This one is
already. Yeah.
The name of the group is Shopify stores, expert review, let's say. So you need to go to our first post and just click on share and share it in your groups, in your page, in your wall, and everything else. So feel free. It's okay if you'll do it later on as well. Anyways, let's start our live from the first question, which means why SMS? Why is it better from PPC in Facebook, in Google, from doing any advertising with influencers in Instagram and so on?
Well, I wouldn't say it necessarily better. I think that SMS just opens another channel of communication. And I just believe nowadays you have to be kind of everywhere. So if you don't go to unexplored places, and if you don't kind of find new ways and paths, your competitors will do it. SMS is a pretty, it's a technology that's been out for a while, but now it's, living its renaissance almost, as the notorious inclusion of the promotions folder in email. So actually we saw that there was a decline in our email marketing campaigns, and at that time Messenger was not around. It was just, kind of Facebook chats, and it wasn't live. It wasn't a separate product. Push notifications also were just making their way on mobile devices. On desktop, they were seldom used. So what we actually did is we created a tool for Shopify and some other platforms, and we just left it there. So in reality, we launched the product and then just left it hanging for maybe a year.
So let me ask you, by the way, Michael, do you see a difference in the open rates of SMS if we need to compare it to emails, for example?
Most definitely, yes. So there are a number of factors that make SMS that successful, and one of them is the high delivery rates. I would say official statistics always agree on above 90%, and then special companies and operators, of course, have much better data than me on this. But I would say maybe 95% is the range that we're looking at in terms of open rate for text messages. And of course, there is the human factor in this, because almost everyone keeps the buzzing sound of a text message. It's still something that is not that annoying. So what happens most is that people will just leave the buzzing sound for the important messages whenever they get those. It's just like all the other channels are doing great. And I think SMS is a great addition as an arsenal as a marketing tool to your arsenal.
By the way, the difference, or the big difference that we need to talk about, is actually that emails can go to the promotionals, and people won't open it from the first place instead of SMS, right?
This is exactly right, Shen. Sorry. This is exactly right. I mean, whenever you get a message, it will just buzz, and you will just be kind of curious, kind of like treasure hunt. Hey, who's texting me? Because you get this immediate sound when someone messages you. At least this is how I'm using my phone. So at the end of the day, to answer your initial question, I wouldn't compare SMS to PPC or working with influencers or any of that. I would just say it's a great tool to kind of build a full array of marketing services around your brand, either for notifying customers about the status of their order when it was shipped. So essentially increasing the level of customer support and customer lifetime value, to making automated messages when someone abandons a cart, all the way to maybe sending a text message where you just want to ask how was your experience with the store, or asking for a review via text message. We just believe that.
By the way, I wanted to ask you, Michael, sorry to interrupt. There's a big difference, once again, when I need to compare SMS to emails. In emails, I have the pop-up, I have the input field for submitting to the newsletter and everything like that. And even in the thank you page or in the checkout page, I can allow to get emails or join the newsletter. How do I add some customers or some visitors to my list, to my SMS list?
So first and foremost, there are a number of ways that you can do it. Number one is by texting a special text word or keyword to a short code. So it's something like text hen to 81787, and then it's always a good practice to give some sort of a reward for whoever does this. So you can say, exclusive masterclass deal, text hen for your 5% discount on, on your next success to the future.
Yeah, that's when I already have those customers. But I'm asking from the first place. Let's say that I have only visitors, and let's say that I didn't sell anything online yet. Let's say drop shipping. a store, a new store, and I'd like to increase the list that I have. How do I do it?
Well, I believe that dropshippers, since there are a lot of people basically selling similar or the same product, I think besides working on price and discounts, one of the things that's going to work great for them is probably to go hard on social. I think Instagram is a great channel, and I've bought a number of dropshipped items, a number of ways, even though they're dropshipped. So I have seen maybe more mid and big brands create Instagram and Facebook campaigns where they would, put a banner in Instagram, or they would create a story where you can just text this keyword to the special number in order to get in their exclusive deals list. And this always creates kind of a secret club or a reserved place. So that will be option number one. Option number two is via subscription form. So it's basically what just or Privy or Privy are doing. It's a beautiful pop-up or an embedded form or a widget that you can include on your website. And then
you can collect numbers, cell phone numbers, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So you can create kind of like a widget pop-up form where you can offer again, a discount or an access to an exclusive discounts, or whatever you feel of naming it, in order for the client to submit their phone number. And then last but not least would be by actually using the Shopify checkout, where you're kind of editing the text that's on the checkout and making sure that, by
checkout with phone.
Yes, so phone number field needs to be enabled. And then as a second, once you check mark this checkbox, you already are okay to get occasional text messages. And of course, if you're using this option, it's always good to edit the privacy policy just to kind of communicate how many times you're planning on texting the clients, and that you'll be texting them during the day hours and not in the middle of the night.
Yeah, so Michal, you just mentioned a very important point. There's the GDPR and all the privacy policies. How do we deal with this kind of things in SMS marketing? Is there any way to unsubscribe, or any policy that is important to know before starting an SMS marketing?
Yeah. Well, just to kind of finish on your last question, whenever you're getting customers to subscribe, you can use single opt-in or double opt-in. So single opt-in means that whenever you text a phone number, you would immediately get a confirmation on your phone that you have been subscribed, and that you can use the discount code. Actually, you can generate a unique discount for every client that signs up, and in this way you can even increase your conversion rate just from someone signing up to your exclusive text marketing list. And to answer your second question, of course there are rules and regulations around text messages, just like around everything else nowadays. Like, you always need to make sure that you mention where this message originates from. So if my store name is bikers, I would start a message with bikers and then put column and then enter my text marketing materials. It's always good practice to have a call to action link, which is actually the only thing that you would like the clients to do after they read the short message. And last but not least, you should always end the message with a unsubscribe link, similar to emails.
So actually, there's a question from Offer here. Offer says that customers should want and agree to get this SMS, otherwise it would be considered as spam, isn't it?
This is absolutely correct, and this is why you need to have a compliant subscription policy in place. So you can employ one of those three methods by keyword or text words, by having a pop-up widget or subscription form, or
with a
form on the website
that agrees to that, right?
And last but not least, the last method would be via the checkout. But you always need to have clients agree to either of those three, otherwise you can get into trouble, just like an email. We're not supposed to send unsolicited emails, and conversely, we're not supposed to send unsolicited text messages as well.
Yeah, this is correct. So let me ask you another question about SMS.
Yeah.
The fact is that they are shorter, and they are not that much customized. Like you can't color it or upload pictures and everything like that, like emails. But I understand that in Smsbump you can add emojis and you can have all the URLs. So please tell me how it works when it comes to design or customization in SMS.
Actually, I might be mistaken here, but if I'm not wrong, I think the original Twitter idea came from the text message size. So it was basically the notion that you want to be brief, send a short message, which is meaningful to the client, and it makes sense. Of course, text messages are a maximum of 160 characters per text message. So you have to try to present your offer in the best way. Of course, nowadays with emojis and everything, you can use emojis to add a little spice to your text messages. And there's also a very exciting feature that we're launching for the US market early next week, and that will be images as well. So actually we'll be able to place an image, GIF or GIF, whatever you prefer to call, and or a PNG. So what are the benefits?
This is a really big thing, that really big news. So I'm very happy and excited to have it on the first place here in Israel in our live. But you know what, Michael? You should open it to us as well.
Yeah, actually, it depends on the operators. Like some operators support it and some don't. I haven't researched the Israeli market, to be honest with you.
So you should. Let's talk about it after the live. I'll help you out. One of my biggest issues is to help the Israeli market to get more exposure in the worldwide. And also to be the first for new ideas, for innovation, and this is just great. So if you need any help with any business here around, I'd love to help you out. So we're speaking at Smsbump, and I'd love to show our audience, our people here in our live, some of the features in the app itself. So what I'm gonna do is actually show the screen. And I'll show it solo. Wait a second. So no, this is fire push. Sorry, sorry about that. Can you see my screen, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. So the first thing that I would like to say to our audience, that everyone here in our live may get $3 for trying to do their first campaign here in Smsbump. By the way, Michael, how much does it cost for, let's say, one SMS to send?
Mm-hmm. Well, the price varies by countries. The majority of the clients which are from Israel, most of them are either doing drop shipping or they're somehow connected to the US and Western European markets.
Yeah.
So for the States, the message is as cheap as 1.5 cents per text message, which is a pretty good price.
It's nothing, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
So the first thing that we would like to say to our audience, that SMS is really important because it's cheaper sometimes it costs you, let's say, a couple of new Israeli shekels, which is something like up to $1 for a PPC campaign in Facebook for each click. For the worst campaigns. For the better campaigns, it can takes, let's say, between 0.2 or 0.5 for one click. So here you can see people with high open rate that are going to your site, that you can recover your abandoned checkouts and everything like that. And you already have a balance here. As you can see in my screen, I already used some of the money here for one of my campaign, and we're going to speak about the app. So this is the first thing that we are going to say. So
if I can just mention something or add something to what you already said. Not only the open rates are really high, but we're also getting very high click-through rates. Like the average for our sector is, let's say, north of 25, and I've seen clients from anywhere from 25 to 40% click-through rate, which is insane. And
it's amazing.
The thing is that we also have a thing which is called segmentation, which I would recommend to everyone, where you can basically create more.
Just one sec, just to compare it once again for anyone in home, just to compare. Think about it. When you have something like between 10 to max, let's say 40% of open rate in emails, the click rate can be up to 5%, and this is way good. You can see that it's multiplied by 8. This is just insane. So once again, let's go back to what you started with the segment. So when we are starting an SMS campaign, we can use segments like Klaviyo, right?
Exactly, yeah. So those are inspired by Klaviyo, which I think is a great company, by the way. And I'm very happy we're having this live exactly 2 days after we created an integration with Klaviyo. So the green banner,
you can see it in here. Yeah,
that will be our integration with Klaviyo. So yes, segments are Klaviyo inspired, and what you can do with them is that you can actually segment people by different traits. Like you can segment them by country, you can segment them by location.
Let's show an example.
Yeah, sure.
So let's say that I don't know Smsbump, so just guide me and let's do it. So what should I do?
Right. So first of all, let me try to see your screen because it's a little bit smaller on my monitor.
Yeah, I know. This is because of the app that we're using, BeLive. But you know it like
my 5 fingers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so you should go to list and segments.
Okay, let's see. List and segments.
That's under scheduled campaigns. Just a little bit.
Okay. Right. So there are the scheduled campaigns. I can create a campaign, right? Oh, it's right down there. Okay. List and segments. By the way, you can see here that I've made a segment of myself for my masterclass. You know, my masterclass in Rishon and Tel Aviv, and the people that are joining here. But let's create a new one for everyone that is seeing the live right now. So what we would like to have is a new segment, right?
That's correct. Yeah, and we can
the title.
We can just put the name of the segment. We can name it. So you can say live test, something like that. Sounds great.
Okay, let's say live test.
And then click create. So it's already created, and what we can do next is kind of fill this segment with filters. So as you can see, we have an abundance of options. We can segment by money spent, whether the client placed an order, whether they haven't ordered in some time, the number of orders that they've made, whether they've ordered a specific product or from a specific collection, how did they sign up, Are they located in a specific country? Are they inside GDPR, aka European Union, or outside of it? Are they part of a list? And how did they convert? All those type of.
So let's say that two of my things that I've already done is to use the abandon an order, which is really important. You know that you are losing money for people that are abandoning your cart, and you can recover it right away with SMS or with email. By the way, Shopify allows you to send an email to a customer just an hour after he or she just abandoned the cart. And the second thing is money spent, because you always like to increase the sale, and you want people that spend more money to show them the new features that you have, the new products, the new collections in your store. And this is really important. So let's take an example of abandoned an order. I think that many of our people in the audience would like to hear about that. So let's click on that.
Right. So here you actually can customize and see the different types of abandoned cart reminders, whether it was last month, in the last 1 week, 2 weeks, whatever.
Let's see in my site if there are any abandoned carts in the last 3 months.
All right. We always recommend clients to do 1 week when it comes to cart abandonment. Actually, when we were designing this feature, we read quite a lot of literature and research on that. And it appears that one of the big conglomerates, which is SAP, actually basically came up with the idea that most of the carts are recovered when they're not older than a week. So we always try to kind of stretch this for a week, because we believe this is where the border comes from, people remembering the actual shop from you to you or whoever being just annoying. Because if I abandoned the cart 3 months ago, I would most probably not be aware and have forgotten already about this order. So I always recommend to use not more than 1 week, maybe 2 weeks tops, when you're trying to recover a cat.
Sure. So I totally agree. Just that I have a good conversion rate, so I don't have many that abandoned. So let's just continue with that. But we also recommend the other people that see the live to use it for 1 week, because people may forget about abandoned cart or visiting your store, and this may cause them to feel not that good. So if I would like to create,
I just want to add something really, really, little in also continuation to Arthur's comments a little while ago. We would only text message clients who have agreed to receive text notifications, and not everyone who have abandoned the cart. So we will just make sure to always text clients who have agreed to receive text marketing messages.
Totally. I'm totally agree. So we can do actually schedule campaigns, right? So we don't have to send them the SMS right away, which is also help us for automation. And there's also automation in your app, right? Please tell us about that, and how do we use it?
Let me just share a few sentences about the scheduled campaigns. So scheduling a campaign works whenever you don't want to obviously send something at the spur of the moment, and you would like to just schedule it a little bit in advance. There is one feature that is particularly useful, and that is that our app basically allows you to send messages based on the customer's time zone. So in this way, we pretty much guarantee that you wouldn't message people in the middle of the night, because the morning in the States would be nighttime in Australia and most probably late night in Europe. So using this feature and utilizing this feature would basically allow you to send a text message at the same time, let's say 9 a.m. So everyone all around the world would get the text message at 9 a.m. local time. So someone in the UK will get it 9 a.m. in the UK, and a guy from Perth, Australia, will get it based on their time zone, as well as, let's not forget, Tel Aviv. People from Tel Aviv would also get it at 9 a.m. local time. So this is the way how scheduled campaigns work. Now, just a little mention that campaigns sometimes get canceled, so our app allows you to do that as well. If you need to reschedule, all you need to do is just click a button and select the new date where you would like to postpone the campaign for, and this is done as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Sure. So let's talk a little bit about automation, integration, and let's leave some questions for our audience to ask about Smsbump, and I guess that we'll also share some of the tutorials of Smsbump also in our live, in the comments, and I'll tag you as well, so people may ask you some questions as well. Sure. So what about automation?
And I'll make sure to schedule the talk because this is my first live, so I wasn't actually prepared on how I can.
It's okay. You're doing great. We love you here.
Right. So what can I say? The automations are by and large our most used part of the platform. The best thing about them is that you basically set them and forget about them. The most used one is the abandoned cart reminder. It works miracles, and with a message as low as 1.5 cents, if you're recovering a sale which is worth $20, the return on amount spent is just through the roof. So that's used a lot. We also have one which is customer win back. The thing is that whenever someone buys, they would eventually, forget about you. So what this automation does is that whoever bought the product but hasn't shopped for, let's say, 60 days, we would send them a special discount. And in this way, you kind of reactivate clients who have been active before but are not active anymore.
Where do I do it in the dashboard? Oh, there's automation just right down the dashboard, right?
Yes, that's correct.
There are abandoned carts in here.
First, to your audience, since this is my first live, so it's kind of special that this whole page will get redesigned. We have very, very exciting new automations coming along, which are not present in any other app out there. And just speaking, just to kind of get you a little bit more into SMS marketing, I think one of our biggest clients was able to recover more than $700,000 for the time that they've been using Smsbump, and this is only through text messages. Again, it's $700,000.
This is amazing. By the way, I must say that Arya and Ruth also watching the live, so they can actually type here in comments how they experience their work with Smsbump and how they are actually made fortune. And also here, Ruth is just writing Smsbump equals love. Thank you, Ruth. And Arya, you can also type down in our comments how much money did you recover, how good it was. We'd love to hear that as well. So you're basically saying that you'll change the screen of the automation and do new features. So let's just mention that there are video tutorials here, just down the dashboard. And if we didn't mention something or didn't show something in our live, you can always get into video tutorials, also get a money balance of $3 from the link that I'll share with you, and also shared with you already in the event itself. So what I'm going to do right now actually is, first of all, to take off the sharing screen. We're here together once again. And I would like to hear some questions from the audience about the use of Smsbump, why Smsbump, why SMS marketing in general. Please feel free, everyone, to ask questions. Michael, we would love to hear that and help you out.
Ken, while we're waiting for the questions, I just want to mention a few things. First of all, one thing that I would like to say is that we have a great section of integrations, and some of them work extremely well. One of those integrations would be with Reconvert. Basically, I think you've had Ari on the show, and he's a great and inspiration for me as well.
By the way, I wrote you in another Facebook group that I shared the post there as well. Woohoo! I love Michael.
Thanks. So we have great integrations with MailChimp. We have with Klaviyo. We have an upcoming integration with Smile that we're very excited about, with Recharge, and also Slack. But the thing that is most exciting, there are 4 things which will be releasing this month, and 2 of those things are coming out next week. Number 1 is unique discount codes per text message. So instead of sending a general code, we'll be able to generate a unique discount code and send it out to each of your clients. In this way, we can guarantee that 100% of the sales that come with this discount code will be via us. So better analytics. Number 2 is the images, which we tried them with a few clients as beta testers, and they work really well, and they converted insane. Number 3, we're working for a while on a chat, which will be a great tool for you to open a new communication channel. So usually text messages are one way. I'm going to send you something, and the only thing you can reply back is stop or info or help, like just to get more information. But with the chat, when I'm sending you a promotion, you can actually respond by saying, hey, thanks for this promo, but do you have this in medium or do you have this in black? And then you can kind of start a conversation with the store owner. So you can basically talk with your customers at the same channel. And the nice thing about this is that we're connecting the whole chat thing that we're building out with support desks. So with
automation, like you can actually edit the conversation and everything like that with question and answers?
It's not going to be like a bot, but when you're launching a campaign or sending abandoned cart reminders or any automation, we will give the client the ability to respond to your text messages. And then you will get a notification via Slack or anywhere else that you have had a response to your text message, and then you can start a conversation, and then you can kind of convert the client if they decided not to buy, because to be able to get feedback from them on why they didn't buy the product, if they have a problem with the shipping, if they want to change their order. So basically, you're increasing the customer lifetime value in this way.
This is just great. So, Michael, I see that there are no questions in here, but I guess that we may have some questions or anything like that in the comments. So feel free to just answer them in English, all the questions, and all the people that responded in English to make it better and help you out with the language. We would like to see more integrations also with the Israeli audience. I think that you have great audience in here. And thanks again for being with us.
Thank you so much, Ken, and have a great day. Thank you.